Okay, so I said I'm going to talk about something different, and that is true. What I'm going to talk about now is kind of planning out how we're going to do our surface modeling to replicate this turret. So the steps with that are fairly straightforward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bunch of reference sketches on these views to kind of plan out what's important with respect to the geometry. So from the side view, the side profile is obviously important because that's kind of the midplane of the model, which I'll show how to do in a minute. So first, I'm going to take lines, I'm going to draw kind of the flat sections, and I'm just tracing the model. And you can see here, it's got this kind of fillet. That is something that looks pretty consistent, but I'm still going to model. So I'm going to go to tangent arc, because it is tangent right here, and I'm going to draw it down, and kind of, it's just tracing roughly. Like, everything's pretty rough. I know that, like, you know, the whole idea is that you have a really good model, and we're trying to do a really good model, but we're also trying to do it in an efficient way. So I kind of draw just the rough outline, and then I'm going to take these points and I'm going to kind of manipulate them, and I'm going to try to replicate. And actually, that's part of the gun's shield, so I want to go to this inner line. So I'm going to just manipulate these arcs, or these are arcs, and just kind of get them lined up with the references so that it approximates that curvature. And then I'm going to do a fillet here, and just because it should be smooth, and there's some like degree of like what should it be versus like what does the picture exactly show. So we know that for the T-34 it's got a very rounded shape, so instead of having the flat or the very tight seams, I'm going to do a fillet to round them off. So for the side view, this is what that looks like. It's just a kind of outline of the side of the turret. And we know that that is the center of the turret. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the front view now. So exit that first sketch and go to the front view. And I want to get the center line. And the easiest way I find to do that is to draw, take like 2 bounds of the geometry. So we can see the gun's not perfectly aligned with the center of the model, or the center of the vehicle. So I create this line that goes between the 2 peripheries, or the 2 ends of the turrets, and I'm going to fix those, which is not good practice for engineering work, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'm going to create a vertical line, and this line I'm going to use as a reference to create the midplane of the turret. So I'm going to exit this sketch, go to Features, Reference Geometry, hit Plane, and then I can click this vertical line, because that's one of the constraints that's going to hold my plane in place. And then I'm going to click on either the side plane, so the front plane is what I'm going to end up clicking on, but if I go to the right plane, it's going to start out perpendicular to it, but you can change the type of constraint to be parallel and it will work. Or I can select the front plane, which is going to be perpendicular to it, so it's going to go in the direction that I want it to right out the gate. I cannot click on the top plane, because if I click on the top plane, that's not enough information to actually define the plane, because this is normal to the top plane, so it still won't know an orientation. So that will give not enough information. So if I click on front plane, it will create a plane that is in the center of the vehicle, like I want it to be. I'm going to click the green check mark to commit that, and then I'm going to extend this just so that it's covering the full range that I want to, and I'm going to rename it to turret midplane just for convenience. Now, I could have done this sketch directly on this turret midplane, but I didn't. And that's not a big deal, because what I can do is this is just reference, it doesn't have to extrude or anything, so I can take this sketch, and I can go to Curves, Project Curve, and then I can do a sketch on a face, and the planes count as faces. So these faces can be either part of geometry, or they can be reference planes. So for the sketch that I'm going to project it from this sketch. This is the direction that it's projecting. Since it's projecting normal to the sketch plane, I don't need to do anything here, that's the default. And then this is the plane that I project onto. And you can see now it's moving that curve, onto this plane. So I'm going to commit that, and that gives me one reference that I'm going to hold when I create the model. So right now I'm just planning out the model. And we know that this kind of front curve is fairly consistent, or not just fairly, it's flat. It's going to extrude essentially to the right until the edge of the gun shield. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to front plane, and I'm going to set up another constraint that is at the edge of the gun shield. I'm going to say this edge, so I'm going to create another plane. So this is a lot of planes and references just to kind of create a structure that I'm going to be using. And I'm not going to name this one. It can get a little bogged down, but I'm just going to hide it when I'm done with it. But I know that this curvature is going to be on this plane as well. So I'm going to go to Sketch, and I'm going to create, I'm just going to select the curve that's relevant. I'm going to convert it, and that's going to convert the entire turret, but we know that this back part, it looks like it actually does follow that. So you can go either way. I'm going to actually just preserve only this front piece for generality, because sometimes the turret could be rounded in the back, and you don't want this. If you do this, you're going to get a flat jump between the two references, and that's not what you want. So I'm going to delete those, but I'm going to keep this front curvature preserved, and I'm using the power trim again. So that's just going to be one reference, and that's going to give me this curve. So we know that this, from this center line curve to this curve, it's going to just be a flat extrude. So we'll deal with that later, but we're going to get that reference. And then it's convenient that this sketch, or these plans have this horizontal line here, because that kind of shows the outer bound. You can see like where the turret's at its widest, and that's where the top view is going to show us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another reference plane. I'm going to hide this plane 2 because I don't need it anymore. I'm not deleting it because I'll get rid of anything that's derived from it, but I'm hiding it. And then I'm going to draw this kind of horizontal line for the side view where it's at the widest point of the turret. And I'm going to create a reference plane from that. And I'm going to use the right plane now because it's perpendicular to the plane that I want. And then I'm going to create that. And this is going to be it's orthogonal to the first several, or like perpendicular to the first several references I did, which is good because if you don't have perpendicular references, you're going to have a very blocky structure. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, click the sketch, and then I'm going to trace out from here. So you can see it's not perfectly aligned, so it's going to be a little rough, but I'm going to trace out the rough shape of the model. So first we have an arc that starts around here, and it goes like so. And I'm kind of like offsetting artificially because this front of the turret should be offset. So actually what I'll do is I'll take this sketch and I'll just shift it down just for so I have a better reference. And I'll go back to editing this. And I'm just tracing out the curvature of the turret. Again, fairly roughly, but I'm just tracing it. I'm going to use a fillet in the back there because it looks like a pretty constant radius. And I'm going to create this curve. And now it's important that the curves all align with your other references. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this front here, this has to pierce. So what pierce does is you take a point from one sketch, and if you pierce it with another curve, it's going to make sure that point lies along that curve if it can intersect. If it can't, it won't work. So pierce, and it's going to move this line to this here sketch, or this curve. And I'm going to do the same in the back here. Pierce, just so they line up, because if they don't, it's going to be harder to do the surface features. And you can see this needs to, well actually no, that is okay. That was okay. So this is going to be edited. And it moves you to the bottom view. I'm going to go to the top. It doesn't matter, but it's kind of preference. And I'm going to make sure that these lines, this straight line is parallel to this straight line and ends at roughly the same position. And you can see that it's not an exact science. It's kind of getting things roughly aligned where you want them. Ideally, it would be more exact, but a lot of the times the plans you're using aren't perfect. So it's just getting the rough behavior. Like you can see here, the turret is longer than it is in the side view, and that doesn't make any sense. But it's how this is depicted. So you kind of have to do some extrapolation and figure out like exactly how should it look versus an exact trace. So this, in hindsight, isn't the best reference to be using, but it will give me the rough shape of the turret, which is what really matters for these models. So now I've got this sort of curve that represents the top perspective, and you can see I'm building kind of a skeleton, as it were, or maybe an exoskeleton of the turret's shape, which is what you want to get started. And here we have the limitation that we can't see what through this turret, so we can't see what the curve down here looks like, so we kind of have to guess on that, and we'll do that later. But for now, we can see the top of the turret. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this point, which corresponds to the top of the turret. We're going to create a plane, and now we want to use the top plane, because the top plane is going to be parallel to the top of the turret. And this is going to say the top of the turret, the plane intersects this point and is parallel, parallel to this top plane. So if I select in my this drop down, I can select the top plane, and it will give me a plane that's parallel and is intersecting this point. And what I'll do is I'll hide this plane because it's not helping anymore, and I'm going to create my reference for the top of the turret. And this kind of arcs downward. That will be captured later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw from around here, and I'm going to draw out this shape very roughly. And I'm going to start out with just part of it. We know that this point is this point. They're the same point, so we select, Control, select, and it says that we can't make them the same point, and that's because they're on perpendicular planes. But what I can do is I can select this edge, select this point, and pierce. And that will get that. And then here, I'm going to create a reference line, because this should correspond. So it's going to be, it's going to meet this point. It's going to be horizontal, and horizontal being with respect to this view here. Sometimes camera management is a little janky, and it's probably a little jarring for the viewer. It corresponds to this line, so that's all fine. This doesn't need to extend past there for now. And this is going to be, you can see that these two lines are parallel. So you don't want to trace this top line. Ideally they'd be the same, but what you really want to do is you want to make it parallel to this line, like so. And the same for this to this. And then we're going to just draw them out until they're in roughly the right positions, like so. And then we're going to do our fillets to kind of clean it up. This fillet, since it's got a lower, it should have a smaller radius. So I'm going to shrink the radius down. And there's a lot of eyeballing, which I know isn't the most satisfying. Like, oh, why can't I just do it like perfectly? But it gets good effects. Like, it'll look fine. It's just a matter of getting as close to the reference material as you can. But the reference materials they're just drawings. So they might not actually be geometrically possible. So you need, and 3D CAD does need to be geometrically possible. So you do this kind of references, and then you can set like, oh, this point looks pretty exact, so I'm going to fix it, and that's going to fix the derived points. And that over constrains it, so I don't want to do that. So what that means is, if you fix this, it doesn't change the geometry, but it goes, so that's why it doesn't go red, but it goes yellow, meaning like, you didn't need to do that. We already know where it is. But I will fix this point. So now I have this kind of top of the turret constrained, which is all well and good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain more things. So we know that this kind of downward trend, this downward shape here, is going to be like this curve. So what I'm going to do, this is a little bit more involved, but I'm going to go back to plane 2, which is the plane that this sketch is on, and I'm going to trace out, because you've got to get a curve that's like intersecting two curves. So I'm going to take these two segments of the curve, I'm going to convert them, and then what I'm going to do So now I've got like this reference, which is the same as I already had, so it seems kind of pointless. But now what I'm going to go do is take my top plane, or you could do this top plane for the top of the turret, it won't matter. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to draw on it. And I'm going to draw a line that starts out being parallel to this line, or tangent in some way, but it's really parallel. And it curves over, like so. I'm going to set that to be parallel. And then here, you can see it looks a little weird. And that looks like, roughly, it corresponds to this point here. Suffice to say, this curve represents this curve on the plans, and I'm going to just take this off and draw it out so it kind of has the same curvature. And this is all very approximate. Now I have two lines or curves that are on perpendicular planes, and I can go back to my curves, project, and now I'm going to do sketch on sketch. So what that's going to let me do is I get to choose two sketches. So it's going to default choose the first one that I already had selected, and then I'm going to choose the second one that I created. And you can see it draws that kind of it projects this out, and it projects this out, and it draws the points where they meet each other. So it's going to create this 3D curve, which is what I want. So you can see that curve is pretty fancy, but it's not like trying to map this curve onto a plane or anything. It just does a direct mapping of curve to curve, which is what we want. So I'll take that, and then I hide this. So that's just another piece of reference that we've got. One of these sketches appears to be missing, and that would be because I am looking at the wrong thing, because it's the curve, not the sketch. Now I want this point and this point to connect. So I'm going to click on those 2 points, create a plane, and that plane, now that I have 2 points, I have to do a parallel restraint, so I'm going to choose the front plane. So now I've got this, and this here is going to have this side curve. So I'm going to copy that, and that is going to extend until this point. So I'm going to use a reference center line to set the constraint. So it can go in any direction, and this intersects or pierces this side line. And the same happens down here. So I'm using the center line to set an end point, not to define like an axis or anything. And then if I go to trim, it sees that there's a point here, so if I trim, it will keep the line up until that point. And I do the same up here. So now I have this curve, and you can see I'm building that skeleton. It's a little much to look at, but I'm just creating these constraints and everything. So that, and I'm defining key geometry, key features that appear on the sketch that or on the plans that I'm looking at. And here, it's a pretty straight, like it looks like almost a loft, so I don't have to do anything back here. So this front is where I have to do most of the work. And now that I have all these, I think I am ready to start filling out the surfaces.